begin, let me get a show of hands of who drives and how, or how many of you like went through that process of smog and that smog check? Yeah, everyone, pretty much everyone right here, right? And you know how much of a hassle it is, right? So, all right, so pretty much. So first of all, what is global warming? So supposedly global warming is the gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased level of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants, which are mainly factories. And the main thing I'm talking about today here is cars. So pretty much what smog is pretty much what comes from cars and factories, but generally smog checks are mainly regulated with cars and not factories. So pretty much, and here in California, as you can see here, as a study from 2002 to 2006, California was supposedly the unhealthiest area of the ozone smog in the United States. And within the United States, I think it was Missouri, among the smog check programs, it was California, Missouri, Arizona, and Colorado. But as you can see here, Colorado, Arizona, and Missouri are the least to have the ozone layer, or unhealthiest ozone layer compared to California. But as controversial as it is, China is supposedly the top of the producing greenhouse gases, and second runner-up is the United States. But most importantly, what I'm here to talk about is how it's unfair how California, us Californians, are being pushed to work to clean the area, or to clean the air of greenhouse gases. So as I get into my presentation, I'll be talking about the truth behind global warming, first of all, and then secondly, I'll be talking about how we are being ripped off by the government, and thirdly, what we can do to help abolish the smog check program. All right, so the truth about global warming. So first of all, according to the American geologist, retired NASA astronaut, university professor, and former U.S. Senator from New Mexico, Harrison Schmitt, born on July 3, 1935, who spoke at the International Conference on Climate Change of March 2009, appeared at the Fox Business Network in December of 2009, and was also interviewed that year, stated that global warming scare is being used as a political tool to increase government control over American lives, income, and decision making. So pretty much he has a lot of stuff on his back to help or to persuade others that global warming is pretty much just a scam. And before I move on, I'm going to show you a video.
Told the science is in. Global warming is real. Human beings, they're causing it. However, our next guest is skeptical. Now, he is a former NASA astronaut, one-term senator, respected.
Do you want your investments to have an impact? At American Century Investments, they can. Every investment you
program, it's an honor to have you with us.
Well, it's great to be here, Stuart. Thank you.
Now, you've heard the same as I've heard. I've done countless environmentalist interviews on this program. They always tell me the same thing. The science is in. Global warming is real. CO2s are up. We are warming up the planet, and it's our fault. Do you hold a counter position?
Well, the CO2 scare is a red herring, Stuart. CO2 has been increasing gradually for some time. Temperature has been increasing by about a half a degree a century since the 1660, the depth of the Little Ice Age. And there's nothing in the data, and I speak for observationalists everywhere, not modelers, but observationalists. There's nothing in the data that indicates that the current rise in CO2 has anything to do with that that very slow temperature rise that has been going on for centuries.
But
Indeed, most of that CO2 is probably coming out of the oceans.
But that is an accurate statement, isn't it? The CO2 levels have risen to record levels, certainly within the last few millennia. That's where the science truly
No, that is not an accurate statement. CO2 is at about 385 parts per million right now, but it has been much higher in the past, no question about that.
Okay, now are we going to
Pretty
get
much you
cap
get the
and
gist of what
trade
he's talking about.
based on this concept of global warming, CO2 emissions, and the science is it? You're going to get cap and trade based on that?
Well, I have no idea what the,
Alright, so pretty much you get the gist of what he's talking about. So according to his understanding, from my understanding, temperature has been increasing about a half a degree per century since 1660. CO2 hasn't been anything to do with the temperature control and has been much higher in the past and probably coming from the oceans. So global warming is just a cycle since 2006, and the greening glaciers have been advancing. And during the winter of 2010, the polar ice caps were back at 1982 levels. And finally, CO2 being emitted has positive effects for plant life, and since the past century, the ppm parts per million of CO2 have increased about 100 parts. And next, government advantage and smog check program. So check this out. So population of drivers in California are 24,039,236. So, and smog ranges from like $29.95 to $85.95 depending on the county. And so if we were to multiply the population by how much smog check is, it'll turn out to be this much. So that's pretty much a lot of money coming out from our pockets into the government. And as controversial as it is, China is supposedly, they're the top producers of greenhouse gases. And the thing is, they're the highest of the GDP at nearly 12%. And since it's controversial, so since like we're the second greenhouse gas producers and we're all the way down here, that goes to show what we're doing as an economy and what smog check program is doing to decrease our economy. So, and lastly, prevention from paying. So, to prevent from paying and to help abolish smog, what to do is to simply not register your car. Secondly is to use other means of transportation such as like a bike or like a bus, since that doesn't require smog. Thirdly is to acquire like smog exempt vehicles, such as like older vehicles later than 1975. And lastly, just simply move to another state or country. So, yeah, and that would be preferably my solution. And so lastly, all in all, our economy is in California plunges deeper and deeper as the government enforces taxes and regulations such as smog checks. According to the studies shown, global warming isn't real. It can't be real. And what I hope to get from you guys to realize is that the government is a scam. Thank you.